Today is January 10th, and today is quite possibly the biggest day in crypto history, especially for Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin spot ETF has finally been approved. Really, we thought it got approved yesterday because the SEC's official Twitter account said that all the Bitcoin spot ETFs got approved. But 5 minutes later, Gary Gensler tweeted from his Twitter account that the SEC, their Twitter, got hacked. Something a little fishy there. But now we're here. The Bitcoin spot ETF is finally approved. All the anticipation, all of the hype. So now the big question is, what is Bitcoin gonna do? So we're gonna take a look at what Bitcoin looks like in the short term. Before we jump in, nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I highly encourage you doing your own research. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you only do one of those things, hit that like button. It's the #1 thing you can do to support me, and it's free. We like free things. All right, let's jump right into it. A lot of people don't know this, but there's already a Bitcoin ETF that has come out, and it's called BITO, the world's fastest and first US Bitcoin linked ETF. This is a futures ETF, so it's a little bit different. It's not like the Bitcoin spot ETF that's about to come out, but nonetheless, there is a Bitcoin ETF. And when did this come out? BITO launched on October 19th, 2021. On CNBC, it shows the inception date as October 20th, 2021. Let's go take a look at where Bitcoin was at around that time. October 19th, 2021, Bitcoin was at $67,000, which was literally the top of the market. I mean, Bitcoin topped at $69,000 1 month later. Nonetheless, this is still the top of the market. Everyone thinks that a Bitcoin ETF is so bullish for Bitcoin and that a Bitcoin ETF comes out and it must go up. But based off of that one instance, we can say that a Bitcoin ETF is not always bullish for Bitcoin, right? And this is when people start saying,
oh, but this time is different. It's a Bitcoin spot ETF. Like, what are you thinking?
ProShares Bitcoin ETF, which is BITO, tops $1 billion in assets in just 2 days. BITO saw over $1.2 billion in turnover on the second trading day. Fastest any ETF has hit the $1 billion mark. BITO also brought in a bunch of money. In fact, it brought in more money than any ETF in history. And trust me, I'm not trying to come on here and be like a super bear. I'm long-term bullish on crypto, and I do think that this Bitcoin ETF is super bullish for crypto in the long term. But what about the short term? The Bitcoin Weekly Relative Strength Index is pretty overbought. It's at 83 right now, which is about the same levels that it was at in 2012, 2016, and 2019 before they saw pretty sizable corrections of 50%, 40%, and 73%. Bitcoin is also about to enter Fibonacci retracement levels, which is a very dangerous place. You have to realize Bitcoin is already up about 200% from its lows of 15,500 back in 2022. Not to mention the mainstream media and social media influencers and everybody out there is pushing the narrative that this is bullish and it's going to send Bitcoin to new all-time highs. So everyone and their mom thinks that Bitcoin is going to skyrocket once this thing gets approved. And there's one thing about this market, it likes to do the opposite of what everybody is thinking because it likes to cause max pain and take as much money away from retail investors as possible. Now here's the cherry on top. All of this is happening right as the stock market is about to hit a 4.236 Fibonacci extension. It's actually about 4% away from it. And you want to know what else is crazy? The bull run that the Dow Jones is on right now, from the bottom of 2009 to the 4.236 extension, is about 500%. You want to take a look at what it was back here? This is the 1920s. This drop right here is what we call the Great Depression. And if you look at from the bottom to the top, it was also about 500% before it came crashing down. All of this is happening all at the same time. The NASDAQ is about to also hit the 4.236 extension, and the S&P 500 is already at the 4.236 extension. There's a lot of confluence here pointing to the markets crashing after this Bitcoin ETF gets approved. So I think it is likely Bitcoin does what it did when the BITO ETF launched. We get that initial pump, we get that dump, and then we get a push higher just barely, which puts Bitcoin deeper into retracement levels, and then we get that big correction. Not financial advice. I just want to reiterate, I do think this is 100% bullish for the entire crypto space in the long term, especially for Bitcoin. But what about the short term? That's the big question, and that's the question I'm asking. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. That's all I got for you guys. If you like the video, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.